when you're telling a story, it's not enough just to tell a story. Anybody can tell a story. You want your audience to be really into that story. You want your audience to get it, to understand it, to really be a part of that story. And a challenge storytellers have, and maybe you've had, is that they start talking about things and going into their story, talking about what happened, and it was very sad, and there's probably problems going on. But you and the audience are thinking, I don't buy it. No way. There's no way that person up there knows anything about sadness or a problem. They probably had a perfect life. Now, if you're trying to sell people on the idea that you had a difficulty and challenge in your life, having their attitude of you probably had a perfect life, is not what you're going for. So that's a challenge. Every storyteller has, because if your audience is out there thinking, I don't buy it. No way. This is not the way it is. Then you've got a big problem right from the beginning. Because if your audience doesn't buy into your story and the way you're presenting it, they're never going to buy in your message. It's just not going to connect. And of course, when you don't connect, then there is no effect. The audience is like, whatever, I don't need this. So your challenge as a speaker to go up is to tell a story that involves people to the point they're thinking, okay, all right, I don't know for certain whether or not it happened, but it seems believable to me. It seems like this could have happened. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, I don't know, but it could have happened. That's really all you're going for. That possibility that something might have occurred. So the audience is thinking, okay, all right, I'll go along with it. Because if they go along with your story, then they're along with you. When you come to that big point you want them to really get, they're there. They're there for you. They get it. So it's all about telling your story in a way that's really going to make that connect. The connection. So when you connect, you can get then the effect that you're going for. And that's a challenge many speakers have of making that difficult connection. So if you only had a way to really look at stories, and especially look at the way you're presenting stories, that gets you into the story. That's your challenge as a speaker. It's not just enough to say, oh, blah, 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 this happened, that happened. You have to be really into that story. And to get fully into a story, there are three things. Three stages you kind of go through. And with each stage, you get a little deeper. First stage kind of here, and then a little deeper here, then finally you're there. You're in that story. You're part of it. And when that happens, and you get really fully into your story, then you can connect. Because once you're fully into the story, and the audience buys the story, then your audience can have empathy. Then your audience can empathize and say, yeah, I had something like that happen to me. And then all the associations start coming up and think, oh, wow, it's true, and that happened, and that's really a good idea, and I could use that. And that's what you're going for. Create that connection by really digging down and getting that empathy. That feeling the audience feels, yeah, that happened to me. That to you? Hey, it happened to me too. So your audience thinks, yeah, okay. And it's all about going through these different levels of connection. As you go deeper and deeper into the connection, you start to find that it is a powerful source of connection, and it does improve your storytelling by understanding these different levels. So today, you're going to understand about the different levels of making that connection with your audience. in order to make a connection with your audience, so that they believe, yeah, that story you're telling them really is something happening, some speakers focus all out there. Okay, I gotta tell them what happened and describe it, and everything is out there towards the audience. And there's a problem with that. Because if everything's out there and all projected out there, there's a basic problem there. Because if everything's out there, there's nothing up here. So if you're just saying everything, okay, it's all out for you. Now, of course, this whole speech is for the audience, no question about it. It's all for your audience. But in order to relay something to your audience that really is going to make that connection, it's important to do one thing first. You got to feel it. Feel it. Before you get to any deeper levels at all, first has to come the feeling. Because if you're not feeling it, your audience isn't going to feel it. It's that simple. You got to feel it, so they feel it. So you got to feel it. Whatever that is. If it's anger, you got to start feeling a little bit of that anger. Boiling inside, you got to start feeling, okay, yeah, I remember that time. Okay. You feel that anger building inside you, and you think, oh man, there it is. And you just start thinking of all the stuff, and oh yeah, okay. And you get angry. You feel an anger in you. And that's where it begins. In you. Go through that. And you get it in you, and you connect in with that anger, or happiness, or whatever it is. That is your happiness, a sense of a way. You got to feel okay. Hey, all right. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. You got to feel that inner smile, that inner happiness, inner joy. You're thinking, this is wonderful. This is the greatest. I love this. So wonderful, so relaxed, so happy. It's got to be that feeling. Which means, if you're talking about something pretty much essential, you've experienced it. If you're unhappy, and you've never been happy, don't talk to your audience about the time you're happy. Because they're not going to believe it. You're going to say, no, I don't think so. That's not happiness. That's sadness, buddy. You've never been happy. Or, you talk about anger, and you're just a level-headed guy. You've never been angry in your entire life. Nothing to anger you about. You can't say, oh, I'm so mad. You don't feel it. It's not there. The audience will know you're a fake. They'll think, oh, come on. No, that's not anger. I've been to Cubs games where people are angrier than that. It's nothing. You're just kind of a level-headed guy. You've never been angry in your whole life. So if you're going to tell a story about some sort of emotion or some sort of emotional thing that happened, make sure you actually experience that emotion sometimes in your life. Now, if you're telling a story about a different character and they're going through this emotion, that's fine. But at some time in your life, you have to know that emotion. You can do happiness, you better have been happy. Sadness, better have been sad. Anger, better have been angry. Because you got to feel it. Got to go deep down that first level, getting in there, just feeling that. And it's uncomfortable. If you're talking about anger, that's uncomfortable. That's nasty stuff. But if you're going to show yourself angry and a believable angry, then you got to be angry. Feel it. Think of a time when you were really angry. What was it like? How did you feel? You connect in with that feeling of anger or happiness or sadness, whatever it is that your story's about. Then you've got that first level making that connection. But to make a deeper connection, more believable connection, you're going to have to go to a level below that. You go to that level below that, and you start really getting even more in touch with that emotion that you're feeling. All right. You're at that first level of feeling. You're feeling something. Something in here is starting to go. There's happiness, sadness, anger, or something else. That emotion in your story, you're starting to feel it. It's starting to get to you. It's good. That's good. Okay? Because that's that first level. But when you start to feel something, really feel it, something else happens very quickly. Very quickly. And that's the nice thing. You connect with the feeling, and the second thing happens very soon after. It's a whole other. In other words, you're going to automatically go to that next level. Like here you are, and up, we're going a little bit deeper now. Because you can make that next connection. That is once you start feeling it. Once you feel it, then you show it. You show it. Take anger. Start thinking about a time you're angry. Start feeling that anger bubbling up in you. Whatever it was, someone got you upset. And pretty soon you start noticing. Like your eyes are narrowing. Muscles are getting tense. As you think about that time and you really feel it, you start to show it. Your whole body starts to show that anger, that frustration, that madness, that sense of that you want to get something going. It's in you. And you show it. Just by feeling it, you start to show, or happiness. Think about happiness. Okay, at the time you're happy, okay. You're feeling it. Then your whole shot, you get a big smile on your face, you just feel wonderful, you're floating on air. Your whole body just starts to show it because it's in you, it's part of you, that happiness, that joy, it's just, Or fear. The time you're afraid. Be afraid. Your body will start to show it. Eyes get big, start to shake, get a little nervous, bigger eyes, shorter breath, and because when you get afraid, your body starts to react as if you're afraid, because that's what happens. Once you feel it, you start to show it. And that, of course, right there, is a kind of a 1-2 punch. You feel it, and you show it. And that's a great thing. Because just by feeling it and showing it, people are getting, oh, you're angry, you're happy, you're afraid. They buy into it. Because it's real. They know it's coming from a place of reality. So whatever message you're trying to sell that story up there, your audience says, oh yeah, okay. I believe it. That person is scared, or that person is angry, or that person is obscenely happy. Ought to be a law against that type of happiness. Whoa, are they happy? Because they're showing it. You're showing it up there on stage. And in showing it, all of a sudden, your story comes alive, your character comes alive. Whether it's a story about what you're feeling, what you're doing internally, or whether it's a story about between two people. Things start to come alive, it starts to build, there's something there when you're feeling it and naturally showing it. And that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You feel it, you show it, now you're getting there. There is one deeper level. One deeper level than that. And that will pull everything together. Any doubts, any questions people have, whether you're actually going through it, will be set aside. Once you go to this deeper level. Feel it, yeah, show it. Okay, one deeper, and then you're there. All right. You're feeling it. As you start to feel it, boy, howdy, you start to show it. That's the way it is. Once that feeling gets inside you, once you get that feeling which turns up all sorts of pictures and images in your mind, you're there. And your face just starts to show this happiness or anger or fear, whatever it is, your body starts to show it. But at that level, there's even a deeper level you can go. Something simple you can do that really make that character and everything just kind of take off from there. Just a little deeper thing. So all you got to do after you feel it and then you show it is to say it. Say it. Because that's the way it is. That's the way emotions are. Once you really get emotions, you really get emotional, it's not enough just to sit there and be emotional. You got to say something. So if you've got a strong feeling like fear or happiness or anger, it's just that strong, powerful emotion forces you to say something. And that's where it gets real. That's where it gets real. Once you start saying it. Because once you start saying it, people get it. I mean, fear and anger can look kind of similar, but once you start saying things, they get it. There's a whole difference between, gonna kill you, and just get away from me, okay? Whole different world. Say it. And if you're feeling happy, you say, wow, just a great day. Just the most wonderful day. Wow. Oh, man, yeah, it's just so good. Words, powerful. When you have the feeling and the showing, then the saying becomes a whole new level. Opens everything up. And it really makes those characters pop. It makes that internal dialogue work. It makes everything in your story just kind of come together. Because if you're giving a speech, better be a story in it. Stories are pretty important. If there is a story, better get into those emotions. Quite often it's not going back and forth and all the particular words you use, it's really those emotions that come through. And some of the people start and they just start saying it, but you got to go through the, okay, I feel it, I show it, now I say it. With anger, you feel the anger. Good time you're angry. And then you start getting angry and you show it. And you say, get out of my way! I'm getting through here, all right? Just get out of my way! Now, go! Get the heck out of here! You say it. You say angry things. Or happy things. Or sad things. I can't believe it happened. I mean, it wasn't supposed to happen. But it did. Saying it really will help making that character pop, make your story pop, make your speech pop. Just saying it. If you got to say it quietly, that's fine. If you got to say it loudly, that's okay. Whatever it is, say it, but say it so in a real, genuine way by going through those three levels. And then when you say it, then people will get it. They say, yeah, I've been there too. The challenge of every speech you give is you really should be giving stories. So when you're giving a story in your speech, How do you really make that story pop? How do you make it connect with your audience? Well, the real secret is to create that deep emotional connection. Connect to get that effect. And to do that, you go through the 3 levels. You give it a speech, really, you want to be given a story. And to make that story really connect, so you get the effect, you got to go through 3 levels. The first level is simply feeling it. Feeling it. You got to feel it. One of the simplest way people have of feeling things is just picturing something that really represents that emotion. Think of something, if you're going to do anger, think of something that got you angry, that upset you. Think about that, and you'll notice you start to feel it. Once you start really feeling it, you make that deep anger connection, then you can go to the next level. But wait till you really feel that. Take some time to really feel it. Let it go. Once you feel it, then you're going to start to show it. The nice thing about the second level of showing is that it happens pretty easily, pretty quickly. It's like, okay. And you've seen this too before. You see somebody and they seem okay, and all of a sudden they seem a little off, and then you're like, okay, he's angry. Yep, he's angry. You got no question about it. You know it, because it's showing anger, and that's because they're feeling anger. And you can just feel it like radiate. You heard that expression, anger radiating off? That's the way it is. Those feelings just radiate out. When you recreate that on stage and radiate out to your audience, that inner feeling will just naturally project out. So when I say don't focus on your audience first, you got to feel it, and then you can, don't worry about it. You feel it, it will radiate out. And then, once you feel it, you show it, then you got to say it. Say it. This is the dialogue, this is the words you use, but it could just be things that, what is a person who's in that situation upset likely to say? What is a person in that situation who's happy likely to say? Or that person who's sad? Whatever your character is supposed to be doing, whatever your internal dialogue is supposed to be about, that's when you say it. So first you connect the feeling, and then the showing, and then the saying. Which means it may take a little bit of time before you get a dialogue, before you get those words coming out. That's okay. If someone's supposed to be angry, it may take a little while for those words to come out. And that's a believable effect. Because people just don't, boom, get angry. Well, some people do, but most people, there's something that kind of builds up before that going on. And then they get angry, they feel it, then they show anger, and then they start saying stuff. If you follow that simple thing about feeling, showing, saying, you can get really deep into that emotion, your character. And interesting enough, the deeper you go in, the more it radiates out. The deeper you go in, the more it radiates out, naturally. You don't even need to force yourself to project your arms or anything like that. It'll just naturally radiate. You get that anger, people will experience. Happiness, radiate out. Because emotions don't happen in a vacuum. They happen with other people around. And your emotions will fill up, and as they fill out, people will listen and say, boy, if I've been there before, I know what that person's talking about. Yeah, I get it. Because the story will be familiar, the story will be believable, because there'll be a depth to it. Feeling, showing, saying, not just a bunch of words now, there's an emotion behind it. Not just a bunch of words now, there's this facial expression behind it. And all these things combine to form a very strong, dynamic, exciting character and character interaction. So those are the 3 levels. You take the time, you go through those 3 levels, you'll have powerful characters your audience really can connect with, so you can give them the effect you want them to have.